Welcome to Estonia. A country where medieval towers rise above cobblestone streets. Where forests cover more than half the land, and where silence is not something to be filled, but something to be appreciated. At first glance, Estonia feels like one of Europe's best-kept secrets, a peaceful Baltic nation where life moves at a slower, quieter rhythm. But don't let that calm exterior fool you, because beneath these ancient landscapes lies one of the most extraordinary success stories of the 21st century. In a nation that only regained its independence in 1991, nearly every government service is now available online. People can vote in national elections from their homes, register a business in minutes, sign official documents with a digital identity, and access healthcare records with just a few clicks. How did a country of only 1.3 million people become one of the world's most advanced digital societies? How did a land once shaped by foreign occupation transform itself into a global leader in innovation while still protecting its forests, preserving its traditions, and maintaining one of the highest qualities of life in Europe? The answers aren't hidden inside museums or history books alone. They're found in the quiet confidence of its people, in the medieval streets of Tallinn, in villages surrounded by endless pine forests, and in a culture built on trust, independence, and an unusually close relationship with nature. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll journey beyond Estonia's picture-perfect landscapes to discover how this small Baltic nation became one of Europe's most remarkable hidden worlds, and why its greatest achievement may not be its technology, but the balance it has found between the future and the past. If there's one thing that surprises almost everyone who visits Estonia, it's not a famous landmark or an impressive skyline, it's the silence. Unlike many European destinations where bustling cafes, crowded squares, and constant conversation define daily life, Estonia often feels remarkably calm. Even in the heart of Tallinn, the nation's capital, there are moments when the only sounds are footsteps echoing along centuries-old cobblestone streets, or the distant ringing of church bells. For many visitors, that quietness can feel unusual at first, but for Estonians, it simply feels like home. Life here unfolds at a different rhythm. People are rarely in a hurry, yet they are rarely late. Daily routines are built around efficiency rather than urgency. Whether commuting to work, shopping at a local market, or walking through a neighborhood park, there is an unspoken understanding that everyone deserves their own personal space. Loud conversations on public transport are uncommon, and strangers don't often begin casual chats. To outsiders, this reserved behavior can seem distant. In reality, it reflects a culture that values respect over small talk and sincerity over appearances. Friendships in Estonia often take time to develop, but once they do, they tend to last for years. Trust is earned slowly rather than offered immediately, making relationships feel deep and dependable instead of superficial. It's not unusual for an Estonian to say very little during a first meeting, yet become an incredibly loyal friend once that connection has been established. This appreciation for privacy extends into everyday life. Homes are places of comfort and peace rather than displays of wealth. Families often spend quiet evenings together, cooking homemade meals, reading books, or enjoying time outdoors instead of seeking constant entertainment. Weekends rarely revolve around crowded shopping centers. Instead, many people head toward forests, lakes, or the Baltic coastline, where nature becomes an extension of everyday living rather than an occasional escape. Nature is never far away in Estonia. More than half of the country is covered by forests, and thousands of lakes and wetlands create landscapes that feel untouched by modern development. In many towns, it's possible to leave the city center and reach peaceful woodland within minutes. For Estonians, this isn't considered extraordinary. It's simply part of life. Throughout the year, the changing seasons shape daily routines in profound ways. Summers are filled with almost endless daylight, encouraging people to spend long evenings outdoors, hiking through national parks, swimming in quiet lakes, or gathering around bonfires during traditional celebrations. The arrival of autumn transforms the forests into shades of gold and crimson, bringing mushroom picking and berry gathering, activities that remain deeply rooted in Estonian culture. Then comes winter. Snow blankets the countryside, lakes freeze over, and daylight becomes precious. Yet instead of slowing life to a halt, winter creates a different kind of beauty. Families embrace the colder months with cross-country skiing, ice skating, and warm evenings spent indoors. Candles glow in windows, cafes become cozy gathering places, and the contrast between the cold outdoors and warm interiors creates an atmosphere that many Estonians quietly cherish. Despite the long winters, Estonia consistently ranks among the countries with the highest quality of life in Europe. Part of that comes from something difficult to measure: balance. Work is important, but so is personal time. Success is respected, but it rarely becomes the center of someone's identity. Long hours at the office are not generally seen as a badge of honor. Instead, many people believe that a meaningful life should leave room for family, hobbies, and time in nature. Education also plays an essential role in everyday society. From an early age, children are encouraged to think independently, solve problems creatively, and develop practical skills alongside academic knowledge. Schools place considerable emphasis on digital literacy, but they also maintain a strong connection to outdoor learning and environmental awareness. Even the youngest students grow up understanding that forests, lakes, and wildlife are not simply natural resources. They are part of Estonia's identity. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of everyday life here is how seamlessly tradition and modernity coexist. A young software engineer may spend the day developing cutting-edge technology before driving to a family cottage in the countryside for the weekend. A university student might complete assignments online using some of the world's most advanced digital services, then join relatives in celebrating customs that have existed for centuries. In Estonia, progress has never required abandoning the past. Instead, the country has quietly found a way to preserve both. And nowhere is that balance more extraordinary than in the digital revolution that transformed this small Baltic nation into one of the most technologically advanced societies on Earth. A transformation that begins with a simple but powerful idea: making government work for people, not the other way around. If Estonia's quiet lifestyle is the country's most visible characteristic, its digital transformation is undoubtedly its greatest surprise. At first, the idea seems almost impossible. How could a nation of just over 1 million people, tucked away on the edge of the Baltic Sea, become one of the most technologically advanced societies in the world? The answer begins not with technology itself, but with a moment of extraordinary change. When Estonia regained its independence in 1991, after decades under Soviet rule, the country faced enormous challenges. Its economy needed rebuilding, public institutions had to be created almost from scratch, and financial resources were extremely limited. Rather than attempting to copy larger nations with expensive bureaucracies, Estonia chose a completely different path. Instead of investing in layers of paperwork and administration, it invested in the internet. It was a bold decision for a country that had very little to spare. Over the following decades, Estonia quietly built a digital infrastructure unlike almost anything else in the world. Today, nearly every interaction between citizens and the government can be completed online. Taxes can be filed in just a few minutes. Medical records are securely available through a digital portal. Businesses can be registered in less than a day, and official documents can be signed electronically from almost anywhere. For most Estonians, these services no longer feel revolutionary. They are simply part of everyday life. At the center of this system is a secure digital identity that every citizen receives. Rather than carrying piles of paperwork or visiting multiple government offices, people use this digital identity to access hundreds of public and private services. Whether renewing prescriptions, checking school information, paying taxes, or communicating with government agencies, the process is designed to be simple, transparent, and remarkably efficient. Perhaps the most extraordinary example is voting. While many countries still require citizens to visit polling stations in person, Estonians have been able to vote online in national elections for years. Using secure digital identification, they can cast their ballots from home, from work, or even while traveling abroad. For Estonia, digital voting is not an experiment. It has become a trusted part of democracy itself. Such a system can only exist because of one essential ingredient: trust. Estonian society places enormous value on transparency and accountability. Citizens can see who has accessed their personal data, and unauthorized access carries serious consequences. This balance between convenience, security, and public confidence has become one of the defining features of the country's digital model. Innovation extends far beyond government services. Estonia has developed one of Europe's most vibrant startup ecosystems, producing globally recognized technology companies despite its small population. Young entrepreneurs grow up in an environment where digital tools are part of everyday education, encouraging creativity, problem-solving, and international thinking from an early age. Yet perhaps the most remarkable achievement is not how modern Estonia has become, but how naturally technology fits into daily life. Unlike many countries where digitalization often feels overwhelming or intrusive, Estonia's approach is surprisingly quiet. Technology exists to remove obstacles, not to dominate people's lives. It saves time, reduces bureaucracy, and allows citizens to spend less time standing in lines and more time with their families, their communities, and the forests that remain such an important part of the national identity. This is the paradox that makes Estonia so fascinating. Here, one of the world's most advanced digital societies is also one of its greenest and most peaceful. Ancient pine forests stand alongside fiber optic networks. Medieval streets coexist with digital government. A nation that spent centuries fighting to preserve its identity has embraced innovation without abandoning the traditions that define it. And to understand why Estonia has managed to protect both its past and its future, we must look beyond technology itself, to the history, culture, and resilience of the people who built this remarkable nation. To understand Estonia today, you have to look beyond its modern technology and peaceful forests. Beneath the country's digital success lies a much older story, one shaped by centuries of foreign rule, quiet resilience, and an unwavering determination to preserve a unique national identity. For much of its history, Estonia was governed by others. Over the centuries, Danish kings, German crusaders, Swedish rulers, and the Russian Empire all controlled this small Baltic land. Each left behind traces of their influence, visible today in medieval castles, Lutheran churches, and the colorful architecture of Tallinn's Old Town. Yet despite these changing empires, the Estonian language and traditions survived. They were protected not by armies or political power, but by ordinary people who continued to pass their customs, songs, and stories from one generation to the next. For a nation with such a small population, culture became a form of survival. Perhaps nowhere is this more evident than in Estonia's extraordinary tradition of singing. In many countries, music is entertainment. In Estonia, it became a symbol of identity. The country's massive song festival, known as Laulupidu, first took place in 1869. What began as a cultural celebration gradually evolved into something much greater. Every few years, tens of thousands of singers from across the country gather on a single stage, performing traditional songs before audiences that can number well over 100,000 people. The spectacle is breathtaking, not because of elaborate choreography or dazzling special effects, but because of the overwhelming feeling of unity created when an entire nation sings with one voice. For Estonians, these songs are more than melodies. They carry memories of hardship, hope, and belonging. That tradition would prove decisive during one of the most important moments in the country's modern history. In the late 1980s, as the Soviet Union began to weaken, Estonians found a peaceful way to express their desire for independence. Rather than taking up arms, enormous crowds gathered in public spaces to sing patriotic songs that had long been discouraged under Soviet rule. Night after night, thousands of voices filled the air with music that celebrated freedom and national identity. This extraordinary movement became known around the world as the Singing Revolution. It remains one of history's most remarkable examples of peaceful resistance. Instead of violence, people chose songs. Instead of fear, they chose unity. And in 1991, Estonia successfully restored its independence. That experience continues to shape the national character today. Perhaps this explains why Estonians tend to value calm determination over loud displays of emotion. Their history has taught them that lasting change does not always come through conflict. Sometimes, patience, resilience, and quiet confidence can prove even more powerful. The country's deep connection with nature is another legacy that reaches back centuries. Long before Christianity arrived, ancient Estonians believed that forests, springs, sacred groves, and giant stones possessed spiritual significance. Many natural places were treated with great respect, and traces of these beliefs still survive in modern traditions. Even today, spending time in nature is not simply considered recreation. It is a way of restoring balance. One of the most cherished celebrations is Johnny Pave, or Midsummer Day. As the longest days of the year fill the countryside with almost endless light, families and friends gather around large bonfires, share meals, sing traditional songs, and stay outdoors late into the night. Although modern Estonia is highly connected to the digital world, these ancient customs remain remarkably alive, reminding people that their identity is rooted as much in the forests and seasons as it is in innovation. The Estonian language also stands as one of the country's greatest cultural treasures. Unlike most European languages, Estonian belongs to the Finno-Ugric family, making it closely related to Finnish, but very different from the Indo-European languages spoken by most of its neighbors. For centuries, preserving the language became an act of cultural survival. Every story, poem, and folk song helped strengthen a national identity that foreign rulers could never fully erase. Today, that same respect for education and culture remains deeply woven into everyday life. Libraries are widely used, reading is encouraged from an early age, and traditional festivals continue to attract young generations alongside modern music and technology. Estonia has never viewed its history as something trapped in museums. Instead, it lives quietly within the routines of ordinary people. This balance between remembering the past and embracing the future is perhaps Estonia's greatest achievement. The forests still whisper the stories of ancient traditions. Medieval towers continue to watch over modern cities, and a nation that once fought to preserve its voice now confidently shares its ideas with the world. That same spirit of resilience has shaped not only Estonia's culture, but also the way its people work, innovate, and build one of Europe's most dynamic economies. A story we'll explore next. For a country with just over 1 million people, Estonia has built an economy that attracts attention far beyond its borders. Yet, unlike many nations known for vast natural resources or massive industrial output, Estonia's greatest asset has never been what lies beneath the ground. It has always been the people and their willingness to embrace change. After regaining independence in 1991, Estonia faced an economy that needed to be rebuilt almost from the ground up. Factories that had once served the Soviet system struggled to compete in an open market. Unemployment rose, and the future was uncertain. For many countries, recovery would have meant protecting old industries. Estonia chose a different direction. It focused on creating an economy that looked forward rather than backward. Education became one of the country's most important investments. Schools encouraged problem-solving, digital literacy, and independent thinking, preparing a generation that would grow up comfortable with technology instead of intimidated by it. As internet access expanded across the country, young Estonians gained opportunities that would have been unimaginable only a decade earlier. That foundation soon began to reshape the economy. Today, Estonia is widely recognized as one of Europe's most startup-friendly nations. Despite its small population, the country has produced an impressive number of successful technology companies with global reach. Entrepreneurs benefit from simple regulations, fast online business registration, and a government that views innovation not as a risk, but as an opportunity. Starting a company in Estonia often takes only a matter of hours rather than weeks, allowing ideas to move quickly from concept to reality. But Estonia's economy is not built on technology alone. Forestry continues to play an important role, reflecting the country's deep connection with nature. Sustainably managed forests provide timber, paper products, and renewable materials that support both domestic industries and international exports. Agriculture also remains significant, especially in rural regions, where dairy farming, grain cultivation, and organic food production continue traditions that stretch back for generations. Along the Baltic coastline, ports connect Estonia with Scandinavia and the rest of Northern Europe, making international trade another essential part of the economy. Ferries carrying passengers and cargo travel daily between Tallinn and Helsinki, creating one of the busiest maritime routes in the region. This close relationship with neighboring countries has helped Estonia become deeply integrated into the European economy while maintaining its own distinct identity. Perhaps one of Estonia's most remarkable innovations is a concept known as e-residency. Unlike traditional residency programs, e-residency allows entrepreneurs from around the world to establish and manage an Estonian company entirely online without permanently living in the country. The program has attracted thousands of business owners, freelancers, and digital entrepreneurs who value Estonia's efficient legal framework and transparent digital infrastructure. In many ways, it reflects the country's broader philosophy, removing unnecessary barriers so that people can focus on creating, building, and innovating. This mindset extends into the workplace itself. Estonian offices are generally less hierarchical than those in many parts of the world. Employees are encouraged to contribute ideas regardless of age or position, and managers often value practical solutions over formal titles. Meetings tend to be concise, decisions are made efficiently, and work-life balance is considered an important measure of long-term success rather than a luxury. Remote work has also become deeply embedded in everyday business culture. Long before it became common elsewhere, Estonia's digital infrastructure allowed many professionals to work securely from home or from anywhere with an internet connection. Combined with reliable public services and widespread digital access, this flexibility has made the country particularly attractive to entrepreneurs and skilled professionals seeking both career opportunities and a high quality of life. Yet despite all these achievements, Estonia has never measured success solely by economic growth. The country's development has always aimed to improve everyday life rather than simply increase productivity. Technology saves time so families can spend more time together. Efficient public services reduce stress instead of creating more bureaucracy. Economic progress supports communities without overwhelming the peaceful rhythm that defines the nation. It is a balance that few countries have managed to achieve, and perhaps nowhere is that balance more visible than in the way Estonians enjoy their free time, through simple traditions, seasonal foods, and an enduring connection with forests, lakes, and the Baltic Sea, where nature remains as important to daily life as innovation itself. For all of Estonia's remarkable achievements in technology and innovation, the country's heart still beats strongest in its forests. In many parts of the world, nature is something people escape to on weekends or during holidays. In Estonia, it is simply woven into everyday life. Whether living in the capital or in a small rural village, most people are never far from a forest trail, a quiet lake, or the windswept shores of the Baltic Sea. The boundary between city and wilderness often feels surprisingly thin, allowing nature to remain a constant companion rather than a distant destination. This relationship begins early in life. Children grow up exploring woodland paths, collecting pine cones, swimming in lakes during the short northern summer, and learning to recognize mushrooms and wild berries from their parents and grandparents. These aren't unusual outdoor adventures. They're ordinary family traditions passed down through generations. Spending time in nature is considered essential for both physical and mental well-being, and many Estonians believe that a walk through the forest can restore clarity better than almost anything else. The forest itself is more than a landscape. It is a symbol of national identity. Covering more than half of the country's territory, Estonia's forests have witnessed centuries of history. They provided shelter during times of conflict, inspired countless folk songs and legends, and continue to shape the country's deep respect for the natural world. Even today, many people speak of the forest with a quiet sense of gratitude rather than ownership, seeing themselves as caretakers instead of masters of the land. That philosophy extends into the changing seasons, each bringing its own traditions and rhythms. Summer is perhaps the most magical time of the year. Long after sunset, the northern sky remains softly illuminated, creating evenings that seem almost endless. Parks fill with families, cyclists explore country roads, and wooden cottages along lakes and coastlines become gathering places for weekends away from the city. The arrival of Jaanipäev, Estonia's midsummer celebration, marks one of the country's most beloved holidays. Across towns and villages, bonfires are lit, traditional songs echo through the night, and communities come together to celebrate the longest days of the year, a tradition that has endured for centuries. Autumn transforms the forests into brilliant shades of amber, crimson, and gold. For many Estonians, this is the season of mushroom hunting and berry picking. Families venture into the woods carrying baskets, searching for chanterelles, blueberries, cranberries, and other wild treasures. These seasonal harvests often become homemade jams, soups, or preserved foods that carry the taste of the forest into the colder months. Then winter arrives, bringing an entirely different beauty. Snow blankets medieval rooftops, frozen lakes stretch across the countryside, and the forests fall silent beneath thick layers of white. Although daylight becomes scarce, Estonians have learned to embrace rather than resist the season. Cross-country skiing, ice skating, and winter hikes remain popular activities, while evenings are often spent indoors with family, warm meals, and the soft glow of candlelight. Instead of viewing winter as an obstacle, many people see it as a time for reflection, rest, and appreciation of life's quieter moments. Food in Estonia reflects this close relationship with both nature and the seasons. Traditional cuisine is simple, hearty, and deeply rooted in local ingredients. Rye bread has long been considered a staple of everyday life, appearing on nearly every family table. Fresh dairy products, potatoes, root vegetables, smoked fish, pork, and seasonal mushrooms all play important roles in the national diet. Rather than relying on elaborate recipes, Estonian cooking often celebrates the natural flavors of high-quality ingredients, grown or gathered close to home. Along the Baltic coast, seafood has shaped local culinary traditions for centuries. Herring, sprats, salmon, and perch frequently appear on menus, prepared in ways that emphasize freshness rather than complexity. Inland, wild game, forest mushrooms, and berries continue to remind people that much of the country's cuisine has always depended on the surrounding landscape. One of Estonia's most distinctive traditions is the sauna. Although often associated with neighboring Finland, the sauna also occupies a cherished place in Estonian culture. For many families, it is far more than a place to get warm. It is a space for relaxation, conversation, and quiet reflection. Whether located beside a country cottage or overlooking a peaceful lake, the sauna embodies the same values found throughout Estonian society: simplicity, balance, and a deep appreciation for moments that cannot be rushed. Perhaps what makes Estonia's lifestyle so remarkable is that it has never allowed modern convenience to replace these older traditions. A software developer who spends the day writing code may finish work by cycling through a forest trail. A family accustomed to digital public services may still spend weekends picking mushrooms in the woods, exactly as their grandparents once did. The latest technology and centuries-old customs exist side by side without competing for attention. This quiet harmony is one of Estonia's greatest achievements. Here, progress has never meant becoming disconnected from the natural world. Instead, innovation has created more time for the things people value most: family, community, and the landscapes that have shaped their identity for generations. And as we look at what it is truly like to live in Estonia today, it becomes clear that this balance between efficiency and simplicity has helped create one of the highest qualities of life anywhere in Europe. To live in Estonia today is to experience a country that has quietly redefined what modern life can look like. Daily routines are remarkably simple. Public transportation is reliable, cities are clean, and essential services are designed to save time rather than create unnecessary bureaucracy. Whether enrolling a child in school, renewing official documents, or visiting a doctor, most tasks can be completed quickly through secure digital systems. What might take hours in many parts of the world often takes only minutes here, leaving people with more time for work, family, and the outdoors. Education remains one of Estonia's greatest strengths. Students consistently perform among the best in Europe, yet schools place just as much emphasis on creativity, independent thinking, and problem-solving as they do on academic achievement. Young people grow up in a society where technology is second nature, but they are also encouraged to spend time outside, explore nature, and develop practical life skills. It is this balance that continues to shape each new generation. Of course, no country is without its challenges. Like many European nations, Estonia faces an aging population, rising living costs, and the ongoing task of attracting young professionals to smaller towns and rural communities. Its location on Europe's eastern frontier also means that regional security remains an important consideration. Yet despite these realities, Estonia continues to invest in innovation, education, and sustainable development rather than allowing uncertainty to define its future. Perhaps that is the country's greatest lesson. Estonia has never tried to become the loudest nation in Europe, nor the largest or the richest. Instead, it has focused on becoming one of the smartest, most efficient, and most livable places on the continent. In doing so, this quiet Baltic nation has proven that true progress is not measured by how fast a country changes, but by how successfully it preserves the values that matter most while embracing the opportunities of the future. As our journey through Estonia comes to an end, one thing becomes clear. This is not a country that tries to impress the world with size, wealth, or spectacle. Instead, Estonia has chosen a quieter path. It has shown that a nation can embrace cutting-edge technology without losing its connection to nature. It has proven that centuries-old traditions can thrive alongside digital innovation. And it reminds us that true progress isn't measured by how quickly a country changes, but by how thoughtfully it shapes its future while protecting the values that define it. From the medieval walls of Tallinn to the peaceful forests that cover much of the landscape, from children learning to code in modern classrooms to families gathering around bonfires on Midsummer's Eve, Estonia is a place where the past and the future exist in remarkable harmony. Perhaps that is why so many people who visit Estonia leave with the same feeling. They don't remember the busiest streets or the tallest buildings. They remember the silence, the trust, the forests, the sense that life here has found a balance that much of the modern world is still searching for. In an age when many societies are racing toward tomorrow, Estonia offers a different perspective. Sometimes, the greatest strength isn't moving the fastest. It's knowing exactly what is worth preserving along the way. And perhaps, that's the greatest lesson hidden within this small Baltic nation. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Estonia. If you enjoyed discovering one of Europe's most remarkable hidden worlds, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments, which hidden world should we explore next? Until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.